Thank you. Obviously, it's always an honor and a joy to be here representing Coastal Carolina and getting ready for our upcoming season. It's been quite a year. Had a lot of transition through the off season, heading into this season, right? And I've learned a lot and learned how to navigate through all the times. I do want to give a shout out. Part of our transition, new President Weinbrake, and our athletic director, Chance Miller, and our senior deputy athletic director, Andy Humes, just really for all they've done and giving us the to provide to our student athletes, to give us the tools that we need to get Coastal Carolina back to the winning of conference championships. And that's been the goal, right? The goal for us has been one goal, is to get us back to what we're used to and accustomed to, which is winning conference championships. And I like the pieces that are in place right now, and I think we've worked extremely hard. We have a new indoor facility that we've been able to use and get into. We are returfing our teal turf in Brooks Stadium. We were fortunate enough to hire a general manager in Scott Aligo to be able to help in this ever transitioning world of college football, and we were the first school to be able to do that in our conference, which allows me to do what I do, and I do well, is coach football. And you know, all the places that I've been, I've always won, and this will be no different. You know, we are excited about where we're at right now with our players, and we transitioned, had some new coaching staff changes. Drew Hollingshead came in as our offensive coordinator, Jeremiah Johnson, our defensive coordinator, and brought in some new staff to support them. And the energy, the vision, the excitement has caught wildfire, right from our administration all the way down to our coaches and down to our players. And it's been a tremendous, tremendous offseason so far. Our culture is different. And it's kind of hard to explain, to stand up here and tell you that it's different, but it is different. The accountability, the toughness. This is a gritty football team. I believe in this team. I'm very proud of this team so far. I know we haven't done anything yet, but I just love where we're at right now. I do. I think we have talent. I think we have speed. I think we have playmakers. We're tough, and we're a gritty football team. And we learned a lot. You know, it's interesting watching Kevin Snall and our baseball program go to the College World Series and watch them and the grittiness that their team and played with. But the biggest thing I took away is the Chants didn't beat the Chants, right? You have to make teams beat them, and that's part of the accountability process that we've put our football team through this offseason. And again, with the support of the administration, to be able to get the players in that we needed, keep guys like Nick Del Grande, Shane Bruce, to the core pieces of the culture of Coastal Carolina here at Coastal Carolina, to be able to help teach the new players coming in what Coastal Carolina is all about, what the expectations are, which is championships. So I'm very excited about it. We got two great young men up here, great leaders, and at this time I'll open it up for any questions that you may have.
We'll now open the floor to questions. If any of you in the room do have questions, please raise your hand. We'll have a microphone brought to you. And for those of you watching us on Zoom, please type your questions into the chat and we'll read them here in the room.
Coach, Emmanuel Peppes with the Sunbelt Conference. Just wanted to get you to talk about, you talked about the transition, the quarterback room. It's a new quarterback room for you guys this year. Just talk about what that competition's been like and what you've seen that you've really been pleased about with their progress in the offseason.
Okay, yeah, very excited about our quarterback prospects. Right now, you know, I had a few local teams in our interview process this morning asked who the starter is. That's to be determined, so I could kind of put that to rest. And no, Grayson McCall does not have any more eligibility. So I cannot pull him off the coaching staff and put him out there. But I will say this, I'm very excited about our group. MJ Morris is a young man who transferred in from the University of Maryland. I was very fortunate. I recruited MJ at North Carolina State when I was offensive coordinator and actually coached him for one season. Emmett Brown is another candidate. Emmett is from San Jose State, who transferred in. Bright young talent. Samari Collier is from Hutchinson Junior College. He won 2 straight national championships as a starting quarterback there. Tad Hudson, who's from University of North Carolina. He's the lone returning player in our quarterback room from a season ago, and his development continues to increase. And John Hunt. John Hunt is a freshman. So those 5 individuals, they've worked extremely hard, very talented group, great leaders, every single one of them in their own way, but they're tough. Like the thing that stands out to me the most is the grit and the toughness that they show every single day, right? And the intestinal fortitude and the drive that they have to be the best. And so it's a different room. Haven't had that maybe strong of a leadership in a while. Grayson is one of the guys, and Grayson has helped certainly with Drew and Caden Malone, our other analysts, to be able to guide and to teach these guys what it takes to play quarterback at this level.
We've got a Zoom question first for Coach Beck. This is from Alan Blondin. Coach, will new offensive coordinator Drew Hollingshead handle 100% of the play calling duties? And how much of an input would you say you'll have in the offense?
Yes, he'll have 100% play calling duties. And for me, again, I'm managing the team as much as I possibly can. It's, again, part of things I've learned, right? You keep hearing guys can do it, and navigating through these times of college football, you start to realize, like, it's hard to do that. The relationship piece is still real, right? Obviously, there's NIL and rev share and things of that nature, but also relationship is still important. And knowing the heartbeat of your football team and the pulse of what to do and when to do it is still really important, and that's the job of the head coach. So, yes, he will have full duties, and I'll stay out of the way.
And along those same lines, for Nick, how has been the transition with the new offensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean, the transition's been awesome. Coach Drew is great. He loves football, he loves players, and he loves culture. And I think it's been an awesome transition. This offense is going to be great, and I'm just excited to get started next season.
Have another Zoom question from Alan Blondin. This is for Shane. Having been in the program since Coach Beck's arrival, how would you say the defense will be different than it's been over the past 2 years in terms of approach and execution?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to play very fast this year. We're going to be physical, and we're going to play with an edge. Coach JJ has done a great job of getting us to buy into the defensive culture, and he's getting the best out of us every day. And that's what you can look forward to this season.
Any questions in the room? We have another. Here we go. Sorry.
Yeah, Coach, just wanted to ask you about, you brought in Malcolm Gilly, who was a great returner at Ball State last year. Just talk about what he could add, not only in that element, but what you look for him to add offensively for you guys.
Yeah, Malcolm, first of all, is an incredible young man and has come in. You know, the thing that and probably impresses me about Malcolm, but really a lot of the guys in our recruitment, is the intentionality. Like every day, there's strong intention of what we're trying to get accomplished. There's a lot going on in these young men's world, and I ask for that 2 hours, hour and a half, 3 hours, or whatever that is. It's about football. Like just give everything you got for each other and for football as much as you possibly can, and the rest of that stuff will all take care of itself. And that's what Malcolm's done. Malcolm's come in. He's very intentional about what he wants to do. He wants to have a great career as a wide receiver on top of being an exceptional returner. And we couldn't be more happy. His leadership, he handles himself like a professional every day, and it's caught wildfire within that room. And I'm so glad that he's here, a part of the Chanticleers.
Got another Zoom question from Dominic Cressetto of the Sunbelt Syndicate. Coach, what does it mean, you touched on this earlier, especially since you were in Omaha, to have baseball help shine further light on Coastal as a whole and bring more eyes to your football program as well? Yeah, I think the things that Kevin Schnall did and the baseball staff and the baseball program did for the whole university goes without saying, right? And it's just how they did it, right? Every single day they went out there and they just did their job. They performed well. A lot of unselfish players. There wasn't, a 50 home run guy, and they just went out there and found ways to win. They were gritty and they were tough and they believed in each other and they hung together and they fought. And some days were good and some days weren't good. And that's the same thing, that the approach that we're taking. But it was a great example for our young men, number one.
for them to be able to see, hey, if they can do it, we can do it. And I think the second thing was, and Shane brought this up earlier, was how close our team got because of, like, we would get together away from football and watch them play. So whether, I know Shane talked about the D-line and O-line going to the house and watching the game, and so they started building those relationships away from the locker room and away from the field as well, because we had a common bond in terms of watching the games.
Hi, Tyler Kennett for the Herald Dispatch in Huntington. I guess for either of the players, you hear Coach talk about the excitement about the culture and how important that is. I guess in today's age where retention is so important, just what role do you feel you guys play in that, building of a culture, and what is there within it to be excited about right now for you all?
Yeah, so I think what's important about it is just making guys understand that whatever role that they're playing is important. It takes everybody to win, and I think that everybody has to feel the importance of that, and I think that that's something that we've done a great job of going into fall camp here recently. But what I'm really excited about is there's a high level of accountability throughout the building right now, all the way down from the freshmen to the seniors, and it's really been a cool thing to see. Like, I know everybody's working for a common goal, and we go in every day to win. We win every single day, and so that's just something that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Shane completely. I think that the leaders in our program do a great job of just leading by example, because you can't ask someone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So that's huge, and I think we do a really good job of that. And I also believe that the grit on this team this year is just different. I mean, just being able to do things regardless of the circumstances is huge for us, and that's something that we're really honing in on this offseason, and I think it's going to be good for us this season.
And then a question for both the players here. What kind of a student-athlete experience, competitive advantage? All four of your non-conference games are pretty much right down the road. And then with all the regional rivalries in the conference, I mean, you're really not looking at too many road trips. I mean, what kind of mindset does that put you guys in going into the season, knowing that you're staying pretty local?
Yeah, that plays a little bit into it. I said in another interview, but it doesn't affect our preparation. Preparation will stay the same, but it is nice knowing that you don't have to take a 4-hour plane flight somewhere to go play, and you can just drive down to Columbia, South Carolina, or up to Boone, North Carolina, and play those games and get back at a relatively good time. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, Coach Beck and I were actually talking about that the other day. It's super important to have business trip mentality this year. It's not going to be this whole extravagant hotel experience every time we go up and play a game. It's about just getting up there, putting the ball down, and playing a football game.
And then, Coach, to build off of that, what have you seen as far as fan engagement when you're able to keep those, short road trips?
Yeah, I think obviously Chance has done a tremendous job in our home game day experience, which continues to elevate. I'm sure there'll be new tricks and fireworks and cool things that are going to be happening at our home game, which excites fans and be able to go and travel. And so certainly I tell you what, it's definitely better than flying to UCLA or Hawaii like we did the first year. So, but getting our fan support to be able to go to the games, and they travel well. I remember last year we played at Temple, and our whole sideline, our whole side of the stands was filled with Teal. Teal Nation and the Conwave is awesome. They support Coastal Carolina in every sport, really, not just football. And I can't shout out to them enough and thank them enough for all the things that they do for these student athletes.
Got a Zoom question from Alan Blondin for Coach. Based on transfer reports, it looks like that Coastal Carolina has approximately 60 new players. Is that number correct? And how much do you think you've improved the team through your additions?
So, yes, I think 60 or 61 is probably our number. The improvement is in the depth. The improvement is we have a lot of hungry football players, a lot of talented football players, a lot of guys that want to get out on the field and do their thing and show it. And we've raised the floor. We've raised the floor. And so anybody in any one of those rooms could end up being the starter. We don't know that yet. And that's part of our evaluation process through fall camp. But in order to get to that part, right, we had to mold them from the inside out. We had to get these guys to understand that there's going to be ups and downs, and understand that you have to battle, you have to persevere with a purpose, right? It's called grit, that the grittiest teams are going to win. It's not the most talented teams, it's not the smartest teams, it's the one that's going to keep standing and keep fighting, blow for blow, game for game, week by week, and that's what we had to build. And so building that culture, building that this offseason was completely different than, and I'm learning, right? I'm transitioning through this like a lot of coaches are. I had a vision of what head coaching was going to be like after 30-something years as an assistant, and I get it, and there's been more rule changes in 3 years than there has over 30 years. And so we're navigating through it, and through our administration and support staff and the people that we have, we've put together, I'm really, really excited about this team. I believe in this team. I think this team is a hungry football team, a tough football team, ready to get out there and prove it.
This is for Nick. You guys were, I believe, tied for the fewest sacks allowed last year in the Sun Belt, especially with a lot of new offensive guys. Talked about a new quarterback room and a lot of new skill guys. What do you talk about and highlight as far as communication in the offseason, just kind of getting used to a new group and kind of building off of that solid foundation that you guys in the line had last year?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in our offensive line. Coach Wareheim does a great job with the entire unit, offensive unit. The quarterbacks do a great job with communication. This year it's been big on just building a brotherhood with those guys, since there's so many new faces in that room. But I have nothing but the most confidence in every single quarterback in that room. They all love football, and they all love to learn, and they all just want to win football games. And again, going back to the offensive line, there's not another unit in the entire country that takes as much pride in protecting the quarterback than the Chanticleers.
Zoom question, Coach, you picked fourth in the East Division. What was your reaction to that? And how difficult is it now to pick in the preseason in this era of the transfer portal?
Yeah, I picked us number one, in case anyone wanted to know. But I think it is what it is, the preseason. I do think your job is to try to figure out where everybody's at is hard. It's hard. Nobody knows for sure what's really going to take place until you get out there. And you start practicing and you start seeing teams play, right? Because practice is one thing. The one thing as a coach you cannot simulate is pressure. Like you can't simulate an away crowd, or you're down by 3 with a minute to go and you got to go kick a game-tying field goal. It's hard. You could practice it, but in reality, you never find those things out until game time. And so to be able to sit there and look at a roster and say, these guys got this many guys, or these guys have this many guys, or this guy's returning, so they're going to be a good team, I don't know if that's 100% accurate. It's much harder for y'all to do that now in today's world than it ever has been.
This is for Nick and Shane. Coach talked a little bit about the atmosphere and the campus and how well supported the program is, but not only that, the entire across all sports. Just talk about like the campus vibe, especially with baseball with that run last year, and just overall and kind of that support that you guys get and what the campus vibe is like, especially when you have a team on campus that's going for a national championship like baseball did last year.
Yeah, it was super awesome to see what the baseball team did. Like Coach Beck said, we had guys over at our house the whole time that they were in Omaha. We were watching every game. We were super invested. But I think the momentum that they brought to the university is felt throughout all the sports. And I think people are excited to show what their team can do. And so I think you're going to see that out of every sports team that we have this year.
Yeah, I agree with Shane completely. The only downfall is that their run in Omaha is like in the middle of the summer, early summer, so there's not many people on campus. I would have loved to see what that campus would have been like if all 12, 13,000 students were there. It would have been awesome. But I'm super excited to carry their momentum into our season, and we appreciate them for putting Coastal on the map like that, like they did in 2016 as well. And yeah, just riding the wave and carrying that momentum.
Coach Beck and Nick and Shane will be available for one